The direction of the Supreme Court has had liberals worried for years. And tonight, some Democrats focusing that angst on Justice Sonia Sotomayor. The current 6-3 conservative majority led to the overturning of Roe versus Wade.
This decision must not stand.
A landmark Supreme Court decision that had protected abortion rights for decades. That decision has opened the door to concerns around a whole host of issues the court could weigh in on, from gun control to freedom of speech to consumer protections.
Rarely have there been a couple of years where so much constitutional law changed so quickly, all in a conservative direction.
The swing in the balance of high court power is directly related to the death of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, who chose not to retire at the tail end of President Barack Obama's term, despite being in her 80s and suffering from cancer. At the time, Democrats were convinced Hillary Clinton would be the next president, but instead, Donald Trump pulled off the upset.
Breaking news, Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg has died.
Justice Ginsburg passed away in 2020, and Trump appointed conservative Amy Coney Barrett to replace her. Roe versus Wade was overturned just 20 months later.
Certainly, I think if Justice Ginsburg had it to do over again, she might have rethought her confidence in her own health.
Liberal legal activists have set their sights on Justice Sotomayor, who is a healthy 69 and shows no signs of retiring. Some calling out this appearance, where Sotomayor said she was tired.
I'm working harder than I ever have. And to be almost 70 years old, this isn't what I expected.
UC Berkeley Law School Dean Erwin Chemerinsky, who moderated that discussion, says those criticisms are unfounded.
She's only 69 years old. Also, this being an election year makes it quite unlikely that the Democrats would be able to fill her seat, and having it open for President Trump would, I think, be quite disadvantageous from a progressive perspective.
Judge Sotomayor, are you prepared to take the oath?
I am.
But she is the oldest liberal on the court and a lifelong diabetic, and some are worried the stakes are too high.
Justices have to make their personal decisions about their health and their level of energy, but also to keep in mind the larger national and public interest in making sure that the court looks and thinks like America.
The White House won't engage on the topic.
That is a decision for that justice to make. Again, it's a personal decision.
Polls show the race between President Biden and former President Trump within the margin of error. A Trump win, coupled with the possibility of Republicans taking back the Senate, would lead to a period where a health setback for Sotomayor could lead to a 7-2 conservative majority, a risk some argue they should not take.
You should learn a lesson, and it's not like there's any mystery here about what the lesson should be. The old saying, graveyards are full of indispensable people, ourselves in this body included.
And with that, Ryan Nobles joins us tonight from Washington. So, Ryan, why are articles and conversations like this popping up right now? Justice Sotomayor is hardly the oldest on the Supreme Court, right? Clarence Thomas is 75, Samuel Alito 74, and John Roberts is also 69. So why the focus on Sotomayor?
Well, I think the list that you gave versus Sotomayor tells us a lot about the difference between those two groups. It's not necessarily about their age, it's about their ideology. And while liberal advocates, the ones that are pushing for Sotomayor to consider retirement, would probably love to see those three individuals step down as well, there's no chance that they're going to bow to a pressure campaign. So Sotomayor is the one that has them the most concerned because she is the oldest member of the liberal wing of this Supreme Court, and that is the portion of the Supreme Court that they're most worried about being in danger should President Biden lose the election.
And then, Ryan, if Justice Sotomayor were to step down, and again, we have no reason to believe she would, but could we expect to have a new justice appointed? Could that even happen? Is there enough time to get it done?
There's certainly enough time to get it done, Tom. In fact, we saw during the replacement for Ruth Bader Ginsburg the record amount of time that the Republicans were able to confirm Amy Coney Barrett to her position on the court. So it's really up to both the Senate and the White House to make that process move quickly. The fact that Democrats still have control of the Senate should allow that process to move forward quickly if it comes to that, which is also part of the urgency for these liberal advocates. They're not only concerned about the White House, they're concerned about control of the Senate as well.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.